Large python intimidating the foe. Who was that? That was me. That was me. Who was the man that literally buried the Ultimate Warrior? That was me. Yeah, that was me. Who was the man that put a cobra in a box and said, "This is where the secret lies"? That was me also. Who was the man that chased that pretty little Elizabeth with another cobra? That was me also. But what I want to know is, who the hell is Sid Justice? Who do you think you are, brother? I know is, who the hell is Sid Justice? Who do you think you are, brother? Jim, I've thought about this a lot. I mean, barbed wire would be really nice because it could seem tangled up in it, and he'd be caught like a fly, couldn't get out. At my mercy, and you know the snake would be there, don't you? But then again, I thought about the cage, because that would be nice. We're trapped in there, and I could run his face into it time and time again. But most of all, I think I thought about I quit. To hear those words from Sting would be so nice. But most of all, I think I thought about I quit. To hear those words from Sting would be so nice. But then again, by the 25th, I may change my mind. I will leave WCW frustrated once again because the powers that be lay down a heavy rule and say, no more snakes. You don't get it, do you? Sit down, children, and shut up. Because I'm going to tell you something. The reptile in the bag, that's not the snake. The snake is right here. Jake the Snake. I could do anything with Eve I wanted to, believe me. And make her happy, I did. But I want to ask you this. You think for one moment that that was what made Jake the Snake? No. The DDT is what made Jake the Snake. No doubt about it. I invented it. I perfected it. Nobody gets up now, do they? We all know that. Sting, what I'm telling you is simple. You get away once, there's another day, brother. I get bitten, sure. When you play with snakes, you're going to get bitten. So you must remember this. Dropping you on that chair once, yeah, that was fun. Dropping you on it twice, yeah, that was nice too. But let me ask you this, Sting. Have you ever thought about the possibility, since there are no mats at ringside, if I DDT'd you on a concrete floor, just what would your head sound like inside? Huh? Now, that's a rush now, isn't it? You think about it. What would you look like? Or would you look at all? I don't think you would. You see, Sting, you have ears, but you cannot hear. You have eyes, but you do not see. But Jake the Snake can make you feel as bad as I want to at any given time. And remember this, a reptile in a bag is not what this snake's all about. The DDT, I will use it, I will abuse you, and my friend, I will enjoy it. Reach out for me. I'm a snake. Never trust a snake.
Following this blatant piece of treachery, we got these comments from the Snake, Jake Roberts.
So what sets the fear off in you? Maybe it's the things that go bump in the night. Maybe it's a lonely trip down the alley. You hear footsteps behind you, you turn, and there's nothing there. What causes that? Or maybe it's an image in the closet you just can't quite make out. Maybe it's when you're laying on the bed. You go to put your feet off the bed, and you're just not sure what's underneath the bed. Could there be something? Warrior. Maybe for you. Well, if it was a snake, have no fear, warrior, because you will see him again. Come on, warrior. We're waiting on you.
This takes on Jake the Snake Roberts one-on-one. Let's hear from both.
You know, Randy Savage, you might show up just to see what Sid Justice can do with Jake the Snake Roberts. You might even sit ringside, buy you a ticket. I doubt if you're going to bring that pretty little bride. No, I don't think so. Get embarrassed again? No, I don't think you want to do that. But you should be thankful, man. Count your blessings. Why? Because the things that I'm going to do to Sid Justice were meant for you. The wedding? What a night, huh? I want to know something, though. Do either one of you sleep real well at night? Which one of you cries the most? Tell me the truth. I bet it's you, Savage. But soon it will be Sid Justice. Sid Justice, have you ever thought about having to live with something like this? Staring you, waiting on you. That's what you're going to have to look at. That's what you're going to have to think about. This nasty little critter here. You know what this is? It's an Asian cobra. And he picks no friends. Like myself, we walk alone. We do what we want, and we get what we want. Whether it be Miss Elizabeth, or just making Randy unhappy, ruining somebody else's day. You may think I have a new attitude, but it's the same attitude I've always had, Sid Justice. Take what you want and leave the rest. I will take what I want. He does get excited. The rest. I will take what I want. He does get excited. And I get excited. Especially when someone upsets me. You may think you're riding into the WWF and going to be a superstar overnight. But believe me, you know why I'm wearing this glove? To protect me. What on God's green earth will protect you? Sid Justice ever since the beginning of time. The snake has been there. Chosen no friends, no Adam and Eve. Ask them. He let them know the truth, though. That you don't trust a snake. Now, I'm going to stand before you, Sid Justice, and tell you only once that when bitten by a snake, you don't come back. Check the record, brother. There have been bigger men than you. Step into the squared circle with me. But none have came back and asked for more. This little boy right here, an Asian cobra. Do you know what he would do to you? He would riddle your body, my man. All the strength that you have will do you no good if this little critter gets a hold of you. Now you might say to yourself, why does he wear the glove? Why? Because I'm no fool, Sid Justice. You are the fool. Trust me. What would have happened? I wonder. Just how far would I go? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't think you have any limits.
Savage, think about that. You're right. I don't have the limits. If I want to start a new game, I make my own rules. That's just the way it's going to have to be from now on out. You see, for a long time, I sat back in the WWF and sat in the corner and nodded my head, said yes, sir, no, sir. You know where that got me? Absolutely nowhere. I didn't achieve my goals. I didn't have my little fun. Well, now I'm going to. I'm going to go out and do exactly as I want to do each and every night. And if it means hurting someone's feelings, then so be it. If it means scaring someone's little girl, then so be it. But don't stand there and point a finger at me and say that I've changed. You see, you're actually mad at yourselves for loving me. Remember this, as much as you love me, I hate the thought of loving you. So Sid Justice, step on up, my man. You're next. You know, as you go through life, you gotta make a few decisions. You go down a long road, comes a fork in the road. Do I go right, or do I go left? Or do I create a new way? That's all I've done. Decided to survive, to get through this nasty world and take what I want and spit out what I don't. Now, there's some people that feel like I've went over the line. Too bad. What are you gonna do about it? Who's gonna stop me? You know what happens when somebody gets bit by one of these? You don't see them no more. Warning, beware, because we'll always be waiting around the corner. How does it feel, Sid, to be played for the idiot? The idiot that you are. I mean, you're stepping into something and you have no idea what you're getting into. And why. You had no reason up until now. Now, somebody said something about you wanted a piece of me. For sure, you really did. Well, I tell you what you do, Sid. You bring it to me, because there's enough here for you. There's enough there for Randy if he just happens to show up. And even for you, Liz, how are you sleeping now, huh? Think about what's going on, my man. Sid, this is no game with me. You see, this little fella here is not near as big as what you've seen before, but just as deadly. You don't play with the snake and not expect to be bitten. So when you step into the ring, Sid, assure yourself of one thing, that the end is very near. And it starts with the DDT. And then it's this. For you, Sid Justice. In the situation, well, it's okay if you don't, because I'll tell you something, Mr. Madness, whoever you are, when you step into the ring with a snake, you've got to realize one thing. If you play with snakes, sooner or later you're going to get bit. Question is, will I bring a snake Tuesday in Texas? Jack Tunney says I won't. Always played by the rules. All I've ever asked is that you tell me the rules. I give you my word that I will not bring that snake to the ring, Jack Tunney. I'll play by your rules. But you know, the thing is, the snake in the bag is not the dangerous one. It's always been me from the very beginning. I have taken your souls and your emotions and milked you for all you were worth. Making you cry, making you laugh, making you happy, making you sad. Playing some little game with you. Don't you understand that? So the snake you have to worry about Tuesday in Texas is not the one in the bag. It's me. Trust me. Maybe you can tell me why I feel this way. Is it because Jack Tunney reinstated Randy Savage? No, that's not it. Is it because Jack Tunney has barred the snake from coming back to the ring? I can't take it down the aisle no more. Maybe that's it. So, Savage, I'll tell you something. You want to play something right, man? You want to play something real? Then you get real close and listen. Bringing Elizabeth to the ring to watch what you're going to do to me. Think about this. When you look down at your wife, after I've done what I'm going to do, what are you going to do? Wake her up. Princess, the glass slipper doesn't fit this time. I'm sure you don't believe that for a minute, do you? I mean, to think that we'd stick together in a situation in a Royal Rumble where it's every man for himself, I mean, that's what the rules say, and that's the way we're going to play it. You can trust me on that one.
Oh, yeah.
There is no long line. If you want some of me, step up. I'm right here. But if you do come to the Rumble, please don't disappoint me. Not for 1 second. I mean, thinking back to what happened Tuesday in Texas. Now, I know for a fact that you like to lay back on the back of a motorcycle, man, and pump it up there around 130 miles an hour and just let it go, don't you? You like a fast car, don't you? So we all got things that make us feel good. And what happened in Texas? Looking down at her little eyes, watching her stare up at me, knowing that I could do anything I wanted to at that brief moment. What a pleasure that was. Yeah, it made me feel good. It made me feel real good. And Savage, you gotta be feeling really bad whenever you go home at night and open that door and walk in and tell your wife, I just couldn't get it done, baby. I just couldn't get it done. Well, I can. And at the Royal Rumble, the 29 other men, or 28, depending on how you look at it, are going to have one hell of a night dealing with myself and The Undertaker. Why? Because we sat down and discussed just who would be the better champion. And we have decided either one of us would be better than the other 28. Trust me.
And in the main event, Elizabeth will accompany a very anxious Macho Man Randy Savage, determined to get even with Jake the Snake Roberts. Elizabeth in the corner for Randy Savage, but the Cobra has been barred from the corner of the Snake.
Is it getting better, Savage, or do you feel the same? Did it make it easier on you? Now you've got someone to blame? Did I disappoint you or leave a bad taste in your mouth? You act like you never had it and you want me to do without. Have I come here for forgiveness? Have I come here to raise the dead? Have I come here to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? What I'm trying to tell you is very simple, Savage. What happened to you Tuesday in Texas? You deserved. Elizabeth, as sweet as you are, you're not the kind of woman I would ever want. No, I want a woman that'll stand up and show me what she's all about. You wouldn't do that. But, Savage, do me a favor. If you're going to come, bring her with you. Maybe I can cultivate her into something even I would like. Close the doors, Liz, and put out the light. You know Randy won't be home tonight. Walking side by side with death, I, the devil, mock his every step. The snow drives back the foot that is slow. The snakes of doom are hissing more. They carry news that must get through to build a dream for me, not you. You see, a snake chooses the path where no one else goes. So what I'm telling you is this, Savage. It's very simple. How many times must fate reach out and slap you till I get your attention? I don't understand what you keep coming for. I humiliated your woman. She begged me to let you live. And live you did. But you keep following me, and it's over.
Plus, Jake the Snake Roberts, who's standing by with comments.
The World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt on the line at Royal Rumble. 30 men get a shot at it. Well, you know, Undertaker and I have talked about it. We've both decided that either one of us would be a better champion than the other 28. So we'll get the job done when the time comes. You can count on that. Savage, how's Elizabeth? Okay, Savage, so you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell green fields from a loud steel rail, smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for Ghost Elizabeth, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for a change? Will you run back and forth over the same old ground with the same old fears? Yes, Savage, you will. You know why? Once a snake chews on you, brother, you never forget it. Once a man grabs a hold of you, Elizabeth, you never forget that either, do you? You felt the hand once. Would you like to feel it again? Well, Randy, if you're going to show up, bring the lady, huh? Let's have a real party. Let's turn it up and turn it out.
Jake the Snake Roberts standing by with comments.
This Sunday, Royal Rumble. 30 men going for the gold. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But you know something, Savage? You and I, it's a little bit something special, isn't it? There's more to it than meets the eye, isn't there? Well, the past few weeks, I've done some horrible things to you and to yours. It's got to make you wonder, just what is this man going to do next? At the Rumble this Sunday, you'll find out. So you thought you might like to go to the show, to feel the warmth and see your space cadet clothes? Tell me, is something eluding you, sunshine? Is this not what you expected to see? If you want to find out what's behind these cold eyes, you'll just have to blow your way through this disguise. Other words, what I'm telling you is very simple. What a happy couple, huh? Did I make another night for you? You made it for me. So, Savage, if you're going to show up loaded, ready to go. But do me a favor. Bring the lady with you, man. I kind of, get the feel of, reaching out and touching someone. And I'm going to help you out with the party, brother. Let's talk about the honest-to-God truth, Randy Savage. Let's talk about the real deal. I'm talking about this Sunday, Royal Rumble, the gold. But that's not what you're there for now, is it? You've had to go before. I remember a time in your life when you were the very best. Wasn't that long ago. But see, you've changed, just like I've changed. Or so they say. I say I've always been a snake. You say you've always been a man. I think I've proven different on that. And this Sunday, I'll show you again in the Rumble.
Collides with Jake the Snake Roberts. Let's hear from both sides.
You've got every right in the world to be angry, Randy Savage. Look at the cards that were dealt to you in 1991. You lost a retirement match at WrestleMania. You get bitten by a snake on accident. And then Tuesday in Texas, in San Antonio, I snatch your wife up by the hair and give her something that you should have given her a long time ago. Make her a better woman. She listens now, doesn't she? And now, you're faced with meeting me. You say you want me. But deep down, you know that's a lie. Because after all the things that's been done to you in 1991, do you really think 1992 is going to be any better? Not. Stranger. Different things mean different things to different people. Me, I'm probably most different of all. I mean, what I hold in my hand and whatever I hold in my heart, very dear to me, means something special to me. But what I want to ask you, Randy Savage, is what does this cage mean to you? Is this the payoff for what you've had to suffer through? Is this what you're trading for it? I mean, being bitten by a cobra? Being slapped around by a man like me? Having your wife slapped the same way? Humiliated? And you're going to trade all of that for one night in a cage with me. How long do you think it's going to last? Do you think I'm going to stand in there and let you give me what you want? No. You're going to lose it all, my man. No different than the great hunter that stands above a tree in a stand and waits for the deer to walk down the path. Pulls his gun tight against his shoulder and draws a bead. That's exactly what I've done to you, Randy Savage. You think about it. How did it all start? How did it begin? Check the history, brother. What has happened to you lately? The wedding, the reception. That was just for fun. The snake biting you, that must have really surprised you. Slapping Elizabeth, that shouldn't have surprised you. But next Saturday night, for the whole world to see, just like that hunter, I will pull that trigger. This isn't right. This isn't even close to right. I mean, I did not ask for this, Randy Savage. You went and asked for it. Why? Because you're desperate. Admit that you're desperate and you're scared. You're scared that I'm going to show you up. So now you're trying to pull these little tricks, knowing deep in your own mind that no wrestler in his right mind wants to be in a cage. Why? It's where careers are ended. It's where a life can be lost. That's a lot to sacrifice. Sure, I've done some things that maybe I should be punished for, but don't you think this is a little bit too much, Jack Tunney? Come on, I know what both of you are doing. You would all like to see the snake gone from the WWF. That's what you're all praying for. Well, you know, sometimes prayers just don't get answered, Savage. Isn't that too bad?
Comments, and we'll start it off with Jake Roberts.
Oh, you must be a miserable, miserable man right now, Savage, with all you got going through your head. Number one, you got to worry about me. Well, maybe I'm not number one anymore. Maybe Liz is number one. I mean, her and the Flair thing seems to be the hot item around here. I don't make the news, Randy. Take it easy. I just report it. I've seen those pictures. All of them. You haven't seen all of them yet. Chances are you won't. Why? Because you're going to be stepping into a steel cage with me, and we both know what that means, don't we? No way out, brother. But for right now, Savage, I'll be satisfied with you. Will Liz? No. Now, the worst thing that could happen to you in a cage is not getting your head run into this. No, that would hurt. Might even knock you out. But the worst thing that could happen is if you start acting like a little monkey, which you do a lot, Randy, with your running around up and down the ropes and all that stuff. See, snakes slither around. They don't do none of that stuff up and down, no. And maybe you get to the top of this cage and you're thinking you're on the way out, and all of a sudden a horrible accident happens. Like falling from the top of this thing. It's 15 feet down. At least 15 feet. But then again, you've been drugged down a lot further than that here lately. But for right now, Savage, I'm going to do the main thing. Take care of you. This is not a nice place to be. A cage match. The most brutal. Could end a career. No doubt about it. No man walks into a cage match and when he walks out unscathed, no. You're going to get hurt. Even if you win. You see, the whole thing about a cage is to get out. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Savage, I know what you want to do. You'd like to keep me in there as long as you could and abuse me like I've abused you. It's not going to happen. I'm going in with one intention. Do the job and get out of there. Unhurt, unscathed. Good luck keeping me in, Savage. I have my suspicions. Mr. Madness. Doesn't that seem a little strange even to you? Mr. Madness. A coincidence? I don't think so. Where's Jack Tunney? Tunney, are you taking care of this? Are you keeping an eye on the situation? Well, it's okay if you don't, because I'll tell you something. Mr. Madness, whoever you are, when you step into the ring with a snake, you've got to realize one thing. If you play with snakes, sooner or later you're going to get bit. Now, if you're playing a game, brother, I can't promise you what's going to happen. But I will tell you this, Mr. Madness. You may surprise me once, but you won't do it twice.
Snake Roberts. I'm listening to him. And, you know, it amazes me, I mean, some people are slow learners, but that guy, he's about 3 steps behind. You know, in a day and time when we're looking at a world of persecution and nuclear morals and Star War treaties and satellites shooting things down, man, you can't be somebody simple like that. You got to learn how to go out there and take something. He's talking about people not wrestling the way they should. Oh, man, it's 1986, headed on 1987, and if you're not smart enough to know that you got to go out there and grab it by the throat and take control and take it and push it down and control it, then you're living in the wrong world. You ain't got much of a chance of surviving. Now, me, I've always been the kind of guy that if I was in the ring and I needed to sneeze, I always use the other man's hand. Because that's the way it is. They're out there to be used. When you step in the ring against me, you've got to expect that. Always expect the unexpected from me. Because I'm going to give it to you. And it's going to be different every time I do. But you know one thing you can always count on. That if I take the time to drop the man flat of his face with a DDT, you can count on one thing. And everybody across Canada, across the world knows that. They're not going to get up. It's plain and simple. Although you may fight to stay alive, your body will start to shiver. Because no mere mortal can...
Jake the Snake Roberts, the match is at hand.
Well, well, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Here we are at WrestleMania, and it's the biggest match of your career. Why? Because everything you stand for is on the line, namely the $1 Million Belt. Oh, yeah. It can be yours once again. You see, all you have to do to get it back is go through Damien and me. But you see, Damien and I don't forget. We remember all the times you made people grovel for your money. These were people far less fortunate than you. People who could use your money for essentials. And what did you do? You made fun of them. You humbled them, and you humiliated them. Well, now it's my turn. I'm going to make you beg, DiBiase. You are going to get down on your hands and knees. This time, you'll be the one that's humbled. This time, you'll be the one that's humiliated. And this time, you will be the one that grovels for the money. And how appropriate that the money you grovel for is your very own. A victim of your own greed, wallowing in the muck of avarice. 6 long years ago, a man marched into the WWF with a rather large python, intimidating the foe. Who was that? That was me. That was me. Who was the man that literally buried the Ultimate Warrior? That was me. Yeah, that was me. Who was the man that put a cobra in a box and said, "This is where the secret lies"? That was me also. Who was the man that chased that pretty little Elizabeth with another cobra? That was me also. But what I want to know is, who the hell is Sid Justice? Who do you think you are, brother? Large python.